Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have an eyeshadow palette review. I actually have a lot of eyeshadow palette reviews coming in the next week, so it's gonna be pretty crazy over here with all the holiday makeup launching, but today's video is gonna be on the very just released, well actually technically I think it's releasing tomorrow or in the next couple of days. This is the Urban Decay Naked Cyber palette. They did send this over to me for review, which I'm really excited to go ahead and try this. I was kind of not sure if I honestly wanted to buy it in my purchase or pass video just with the lighter tones. I was like, what is this all about? The first picture they sneak peeked was not a great picture at all. You couldn't really tell what was going on, but then we got some up closer looks at it and it looked like there could be some fun duochrome shift shades, which I was like, okay, like let's try this. So this is what the packaging looks like here on the Naked Cyber. On the card they gave me, it's described as futuristic shimmers plus neutrals. Unlock new levels of eye looks with the vegan Naked Cyber eyeshadow palette featuring 12 dreamy shimmery neutrals in reflective duochromes. Use your fingers with the sheer shimmer glitter and duochrome shades for more color payoff. And it also says you can mist your brush with Urban Decay all-nighter setting spray before dipping into the palette for a foiled, almost wet effect and long-lasting smudge-proof color. So that's typically what I do with my shadows anyway. So that is what the packaging looks like. I mean, it is a beautiful packaging. It's supposed to be very cyber-esque. I feel like it's almost like Y2K themed a bit with the kind of frosty shades that you'll see in here. So here is what it looks like. I did do 2 looks with this today, so you guys will see 1 look plus this one coming up. But these are the shadows included, so you could see it's pretty light toned. We have mostly shimmers in here, and there is like 3 mattes, I think. Yeah, I think there's 3 like total matte shades in this palette. Most Naked palettes are $49, so I'm assuming that is what the price of this one is going to be on launch day. This is available in Asia and in most Europe locations already, so if you guys are located there, you guys can already get your hands on this. In the US, it says it's going to be on exclusive to tech subscribers on September 21st on Urban Decay's website, so tomorrow. Also available publicly on urbandecay.com September 22, available in-store and online at Ulta on October 10th, and Sephora on October 17th, as well as Macy's and Nordstrom. If you're wanting it, definitely add it to your calendar. I'll have the link down below to purchase, and I'll send out a reminder tomorrow for the tech subscribers. So let's get into these swatches here. You guys know I love to do my swatches with you now. The first shade in here is this, I think is this like a satin finish called AI. It's pretty light. It just has a light pearlescent tone to it, so you could probably use this as a brow bone highlight or inner corner highlight. Next we have a shimmer. This one is called Metadata. This one is more of a satin as well. It's not super metallic, but it does give that frosty look. It's not really a duochrome or anything. So right away, those 2 colors to me seem pretty similar. Next we have a matte in the palette. This one is Virtual. It's like this weird creamish peachy orange. In my opinion, the mattes they picked for this palette are so weird to me. That's what it looks like swatch, so you could use that as a transition. The next color is called Electrode. This one, I wouldn't say is really a duochrome. It's mostly like a metallic, and it has like an orangey peach tone to it. Next, we do have a duochrome. This one is Cyber Space. It's like an orange to green duochrome. That is the swatch. It swatches extremely light, by the way, and it does go on the eyelids pretty light as well. And then we have a matte. This one is Gadget, and this is another peachy tone. This is a really beautiful formula. The mattes in here are very nice. Next shade is called Call IT, and this one's more of a metallic. It's a pinky peach right there. Next is a metallic. This one's gorgeous. It's softer than a lot of the other ones, called Not a Bot, and that is the swatch of it. As you can see, it's way brighter than the other tones, but look at it compared to the other 2 on top. Like, why is there so many similar colors going on? Next we have this kind of icy blue. This one's gorgeous. This one is Static, another really pretty shade in here. This one looks like a duochrome. It kind of goes purple to blue. It's very pretty. I feel like on the eyes it translates more silvery because I do have this one in the middle of my lid today. And then we have Y3K. This one's a purple blue duochrome. Not super metallic, more satin finish. And then we have Override, another duochrome. This one is like a green to red. Super light though. And lastly is the darkest matte in here called Bite. I feel like this is such a random color. It sticks out so much to me. That's what it looks like, this matte. Here is all the shades together swatched. As you can see, it's a very light color scheme. So that is the swatches and kind of first look here at the Cyber palette. Let's go ahead and get into the 2 looks I did today. Alright, so for starting look number 1, I do want to play with the mattes in the palette. So I am going to take the shade Gadget, this peach shade, in the crease. And then I'm going to take that matte orangey rust color called Bite in the outer corner. And I'm going to blend this up into the crease just kind of lightly. This color is pretty pigmented, so it's definitely one of the darkest ones in the palette. I don't know if I love that they included this orange. I would have maybe liked to see more of like a brown or something to go with the other shades, or like a purple. But I'm just kind of getting that all blended here. I will say the matte formula here is beautiful. It blends really pretty. I'm going to take that along the lower lash line with the excess product. Next, I'm going to use my finger and we're going to take the shade Override. This is one of the duochromes. It's kind of like a red to almost green shift. And I'm going to tap this on the outer corner. This one, I would say, isn't as creamy. So you definitely have to really push your finger in there to pick up the pigment. And it's definitely not as metallic as you would think. It just has that slight like green sparkle in there. Next, I am going to take the shade Cyberspace on my finger. This is another duochrome, and blend this into the middle and inner portion. And this one again is not as metallic, but it has a little bit of a shift to it. But it's almost like a weird powdery formula. I don't know if I love it. Let me mix a little bit of Metadata on my finger again, just to brighten that up, because I want to add some shine and that shade was not doing it for me. So this one is going to kind of tie all of that in. This one's a nice soft shimmer. It doesn't really have any shift or anything. It's just a nice pearlescent color to brighten up the inner portion. So I tried using some of like the more orangey, peachy toned duochromes, and I don't know, you guys, it's just not very bright at all, in my opinion. I feel like Cyberspace and Override are kind of duds for me. So that's mostly the look I'm going for. I'm going to go ahead and add my concealer. I'm going to change my lip color and I'll show you guys the finished look. So this is what look number 1 came out like. I did add kind of a fun lip with this one. I'll link it down below, the one I used. But I wanted to kind of go for more of a fun lip paired with this eyeshadow, just to kind of liven up the look a little bit. Alright guys, time for look number 2. I took my makeup off and I'm going to like redo my face makeup and everything, because this will be the look I wear for the rest of the day. But I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyes again, just using Urban Decay Primer Potion. I'm going to try to do something a little more, I don't know, glam. We'll see if we can build up those shimmers, and I'll probably use mostly shimmers for this eye look. So for this look, I'm going to start with Y3K here. I am going to wet this brush. I'm going to use a flat brush. Well, actually, I'll go ahead and use the Urban Decay one. It kind of has a flat side that we could use. So I'm going to take Y3K. A little Cash intermission here. He has been obsessed with me since I've gotten home from Hawaii. He will not leave me alone, but you guys always love Cash updates, but here he is looking up at the ceiling. With that shade Y3K, I'm going to tap that in the outer corner. The pigment again is so light. Let me go over that with my finger just to build it up. Next, in the middle, I'm going to take the shade Static, which is this blue. This one's pretty. It definitely has more shine to it than some of the other ones do, and stands out a bit more. I think I'm done using that brush. I'm just gonna go with my finger. This one's a lot more creamy than a lot of the other shades. I feel like if the other ones were the same as this, then it would have a lot more pigment. And then I'm gonna go in with Not a Bot. Again, this one's gonna go on with my pinky in the inner corner. This one's super metallic, so this is another really good shade. This is serving like super frosty early 2000s eyeshadow vibes for sure. I'm gonna take Y3K again and smudge that on my lower lash line. So that's kind of the eye look that we're going for here. Just super frosty, metallic, all shimmers in the palette, but just not a lot of depth to be built with this one. I think it really could use a couple more different color matte shades. So let me go ahead and put the rest of my makeup on and I'll give you guys my thoughts on this palette. Alright guys, and here is the look. I did just do regular mascara today, no lashes. I have no patience for that today, but here is the overall look. I think overall it looks really pretty together with everything I did. It's still kind of more on the natural side for me with these light shimmer tones. Alright guys, final thoughts here. I have to say my first impressions seeing the palette at the first photos and what I think now is pretty on par. I get it that they're kind of going for a light, neutral, kind of frosty eyeshadow vibe, but like 3 of these shades look almost identical. I still feel like the mattes they picked do not mesh well. I know they're going for a naked vibe, natural, but like you could really do so much more with this palette if they switch some of these shades around. Like let's say they took this out and replaced it with a medium purple and took, let's say, this shade out and replaced it with a medium blue. I mean, they've done color before, like Naked Ultraviolet has purples in it, so it's still considered like neutral. I think it would have worked better with the duochromes they put in here rather than if you are wanting to add mattes, you're gonna have to go for these crazy orange tones. They always do these weird orange tones in their palette, which they do have quite a few more warm peachy tones that you could use with those, but then you have these which I feel like don't really go, and like this color is just such a bright rusty orange. I just don't understand. I feel like they had so much potential with this one and I definitely would have liked it better having those other mattes added in besides these weird tones. I wanted to compare it to the Stone vibes from last holiday. I feel like you get similar vibes here, but I prefer this one. Do you see what I mean? Why like they include the kind of the same shades? This one I think is made better because it does have that darker purple here, more brown rather than the orange tones, and you get more pigment out of this. I'll show you guys. So these are going to be more glittery. I think you could still get this. I'll have to link it, but I just feel like these have more pigment because they're just more shimmery. And let me just swatch. Like you could tell how pigmented this color is from Stone vibes compared to these. It's just a lot better in my opinion. So if you guys were kind of wanting a similar color story to this but want more pop, I would go with the Stone vibes because ideally these are very similar. I just am pretty let down with the Cyber palette, but maybe if you guys are wanting something just very natural, you're just getting into more of these duochrome shades, then yeah, maybe this palette will definitely be for you. There was a few, like I love these tones towards the end. I thought they were really good and the mattes in here were a really good quality, but I don't know, I just don't think it's pigmented enough for my taste, but maybe you are into that and you would like it. So I'm not really vibing with this. I wanted to share like a couple other palettes that have like duochromes as well. I have some duochromes from Cleona in this palette. Now the duochromes they sell are more expensive. They're like $20 for a single, but the payoff is gonna be way better. This is an indie shadow brand. So like comparing their shimmer, I barely put my finger and dipped it in. It's going to be so much more color payoff, as you guys see. So I would rather spend more and get more color payoff personally. And then I wanted to show you guys Adept Cosmetics. They have full size like duochrome, really pretty shimmery palettes. It's another indie brand. They are pricey, but you do get a full palette for $75 rather than like buying everything individually. So yes, you're spending a bit more, but you're getting way better quality eyeshadow. And this one only has a couple mattes, but I feel like the tones are perfect for what you get in here compared to this. So you're spending like, what is it, 25 extra bucks, so really it's not too big of a difference. Let me show you like one of these. just how insane it is. Like, it's a huge quality difference here. That is what the Adept looks like. That one's a little more sheer, but still more pigmented than the Urban Decay ones. So that's just kind of my opinions on Urban Decay trying to do duochromes. I feel like they could have done much better at this, and maybe I'm just missing the whole vibe. I know it's neutrals naked. Like I said, they have done color before. I absolutely loved the last palette they did, the Wild West. I've raved about that. I love quite a few of their things, but then there's just some stuff that misses the mark for me. So this one, unfortunately, is a miss. I would pass on it. I personally could see this going half off pretty soon, even probably before Christmas comes around. But yeah, I just want to give you guys my honest thoughts on this one. Like I said, if you're wanting that color scheme, go for the Stone Vibes. You can find this like half off right now, and it's a beautiful palette. So that's my thoughts here on the new Urban Decay Naked Cyber palette. I'm curious to know your thoughts down below. Are you guys liking this color story? Let me know. I know we all can have different opinions, and that's totally cool. I have a lot more reviews coming for you guys this week, but hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope it was helpful, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.